Are you a photographer, videographer, illustrator, or someone that puts your work online? There's a good chance at this point your work has been used to train AI. You've got a mix of GPT systems and diffusion systems that create images that these companies are going willy-nilly and using everything without regard to copyright. I have a background in computer science. I've done a lot of software development. Not to say that it's any different in the future, but they feel more like autocomplete systems that are very advanced compared to something like artificial general intelligence. Although even if it were at that level, I don't think it is justifiable. I noticed a pop-up on Instagram recently where they describe what they're doing with all of the public posts on Instagram itself and also on Facebook. So if you have a Facebook page, in my case, I post cosplay convention photos on Facebook and galleries. It's all public. And on Instagram, I currently archived all of my posts, but there I was posting cosplay photo shoots, all of the detailed photos, a lot of descriptive text. All of that can be used by these AI systems to translate text to images. Meta is not the biggest issue. They are releasing some of their stuff as open source. I don't think it's justifiable to say, okay, it's open source, so we're going to use whatever we feel like. But even so, there are much worse offenders in this case. Maybe you've heard of the Pile data set, been used by Apple apparently, NVIDIA, Anthropic. Clearly, some of my work has already been used by these AI systems to function. I did not authorize the use of this stuff. So it's frustrating to see, especially as a smaller, less popular video creator. I'm not benefiting in any way from this unless I were to use these systems, which I have dabbled. I've looked at them, but I have not used them in any of my production work. Back on the Instagram thing, we can see they posted this. I took a screenshot and they talk about what they're doing with all the public posts, images, everything on Facebook and Instagram. We use public posts and comments on Facebook and Instagram to train generative AI models for these features and for the open source community. So they're trying to say it's open source, so it's all good, all cool. I don't think that's the case. Is it better than the other companies? Yes, but it's still not good enough. I frame my text here as a cosplay photographer. I'm going to read it off. Meta gives us the option to opt out of AI training, especially for people photography. Obviously, you can make your account private. You can delete your photos. I've currently archived a lot of my work on there. I still have a bunch of my videos on my main Photography Bonsai account, but it's kind of my job at this point, so I want to make those and keep those public on as many platforms as possible. What's the point of this generative AI in regard to photography? I don't understand the point. Sure, things like filling more of the background in or something, but I think in a lot of these cases, it's basically text to images. I did quickly try out their image generator on Meta to see what I would get out of it and see if it did directly relate to my work. I made a few typos in the original text, so maybe that messed up the results slightly. It's a bunch of conventions. I go to a lot of conventions, take photos. It might have related that to the prompt and the actual generated images. Not to say that it's using much of my photography or any of it, but I think there is the potential there that it is. Why? I don't understand the point. It's not a real person. It's not a real place. It's not even a real cosplay from an anime or something or a game. It's just some garbled mix of various photos and images and video from a real photographer, a real cosplayer. I made a few more attempts just to see what I would get from it. Another image from one of the characters. It really likes armor cosplays for some reason. And the last one. Plus I made another little video from one of those characters it made. Clearly these things are not super realistic because it's making three hands, but that's not really the point. The point is that even if it were good, I still don't personally see value in making fake people, making fake situations, fake cosplays, whatever you want to do with these systems. I don't understand it. Hopefully these companies get a clue. In the United States, we've got very little law or something apparently in regard to this, so Meta's going crazy. But in the EU, they apparently have better laws in place to deal with this, so you can actually disable that functionality. But hopefully the United States gets a clue at some point and limits these companies from doing this. I'm not thrilled about it. I am kind of on the side of tech a lot of the time, but I don't see any real true value in it moving forward. Curious what your opinions are about all of this stuff as well. Let me know in the comments. Scott Photography Bonsai, thanks.